And we are live. Hello, everybody who will be watching this podcast anytime, wherever you want to watch it. We are doing it live. So if you are watching it, you probably are watching it not already in live mode, but you can watch this podcast every Wednesday on my channel to join some other podcast live, so you can check what's coming up. And welcome today to Inspirational Bar Podcasts. Bar podcast created to inspire you to be a better bartender by becoming a better person, and where I invite interesting and highly successful people in hospitality and bartending industry to tell their stories, how they succeeded to become who they are today. Because I believe it's very important to share this knowledge, because sometimes people don't see bartending as a wide profession, or sometimes people don't see bartending as a valued profession or occupation. But I believe it's really valuable and really interesting and wide profession, and you can become not, I can't say whoever you want, because but you can become a lot of different ways by being a bartender. And in this podcast, I invite people that you can see how they achieved something by at first starting being a bartender. And I believe they will be bartenders in their hearts for all their lives. Just sometimes they get additional responsibilities or additional tasks to do by becoming brand ambassadors, consultants, business owners, and so on. We'll see a lot of in this podcast. And today I'm very honored to present you my guest who is my friend, and I know him for probably 5-6 years. I don't know when it's the first time that we met in in some bar mastermind, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that I know this person and I can present it to you, and we can hear his story, his success story, how he started and how he became, and today he is a global brand ambassador of Rooster Rojo Tequila. We will come to that. At first, we will start from the beginning. So I'm proudly present you my guest today, Ansis Ancovs from Latvia. So he is a neighbor country where I am from. So from Miami to Riga today. Hi, Ansis.
Hey, hello, Ansis. Very good to be there. Hello, planet Earth. How are you doing? Hope everyone is good and safe and sane also at the same time. It's super good to be here. And if I can correct, I think we know each other for a bit more like 8 years, something like that.
Oh, maybe.
I think, yeah, kind of. That's what my memory serves, is that when we first met, that would be like about 8-7 years ago.
Okay, the times goes really fast. I just was trying to find out all my competitions that I've participated through my life, because I'm writing a book on that, and I sometimes see things and I can't believe it was like so long time ago, because it seems it was like 1-2 years ago, and it's like 8 years ago. So it might be true, but it's not about that. It's about your story, Ansis. And today I would like to hear it myself, and I would like to share it with other people to inspire them. And I would like to know how everything started for you in this bartending in hospitality, or in hospitality. Maybe you didn't start as a bartender, because I talked to Martin and he started as a barista, and it might be different. So how everything started for you in hospitality industry, and how did it then? How did you grow? Let's start. How old was you?
Okay, well, yeah, very honored to be there on this podcast and sharing my story. And I was always happy about sharing how did my life go, and if I have a chance to give some advice to someone, it always kind of makes me happy, and I would never ever hide anything that I know to make someone actually become better. So yeah, well, my bartending career actually started from the scratch, literally, like any other craft would be. It was back in 1994 when I was still in high school here in Riga. And during summer break, in between 11th and last grade, I was offered to do dishes in the kitchen, like KP, kitchen porter. So basically, I was washing dishes and cutlery and everything, whatever, like dishwasher, basically.
Yeah,
like kitchen porter. So just to make some extra money for myself, basically, instead of going like up to your parents and asking like, can you give me some cash to spare or something. So. And I took that opportunity. I realized for myself, oh yeah, okay, but I can't go, to the beach with friends or something like that. I have to work. However, it was like I also had some days off, as that would be normal, yeah. So like I can't remember right now. There was like 3 days on, 3 days off, or 4, something like that. It doesn't matter, but still, I was working and I had some time off. That bar, that restaurant, was newly opened place here in Riga, which still operates. Which is quite interesting because yeah, I mean, we're not London here, we're not New York, yeah, where bars are operating like for like 100 years or 50 years, yeah. Some bars open, some bars close in like 2 times period. Really? But that bar is still around under same name, pretty much under same management, if I can say so. Yeah, few people changed on the kind of headquarters of the bar, obviously, and the staff changed at all. But yeah, this is where I started, just in the kitchen over the school break in summer. So then obviously when September came and we had to go back to school, I couldn't do that no longer. So I went back to school and they phoned me up again saying that, you know what, because that was literally first season for them. So they opened in spring. So in summertime, I would do dishes for them. And then in autumn, when everyone comes back from holidays and stuff like that, and city becomes like busier, I was actually offered to take over like a part-time job and to become a barback. Because the bar was small, like maybe like twice bigger as mine here, but the bartender was so busy that he couldn't actually do everything that you need behind the bar, so they needed a barback, and that would be half-time job, as I said, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so ups and downs, so you were never sure, and just 8 till midnight, basically. So 4 hours. So my duties would be making all the coffees, polishing glasses, classic. And sometimes I was also allowed to pour some juice or something like that. Obviously, I would run to pick up ice, classic barback job. Yeah. For that, I can actually say that I maybe was the first ever barback in Latvian bartending industry. Oh. Maybe. I don't know. I can't vouch for that, but it could be like that. I don't know. So I was absolutely headbanger back then. I was like long hair, like down to my arse, like here. Okay. I had to do the ponytail, yeah. Few earrings here and here, like. But I had to dress. Yeah, that was me. That was me back in high school, and then in heart, it's still the same.
It's 94, so it's still those wild times, after Soviet Union collapse.
Yeah, true. That's me. I grew up on that kind of music when I was a kid. There would be like Pink Floyd and Queen and Deep Purple around my house. Also a few Latvian hard rock bands. So that was basically my childhood, where I grew up with, and obviously that music remained in my heart. And
I see the T-shirt, yeah.
Yeah, and I just went the same path, And well, yeah. But then when I was behind the bar, I had to dress up nicely, so that would be like a black button shirt and like ponytail down here, and you have to kind of behave politely. However, I didn't have to talk to any of customers. And I wasn't even allowed to be honest. And so that would be my duties. And obviously, not to mention is that when the bar was closed, the bartender, as a star, would make himself like a drink, would go around, sit with the floor staff, and have the kind of stuffed drinks and a cigarette. So I was actually cleaning the bar.
Okay.
And that kept going for the entire school year. So from like autumn up to spring, when I could not do that no longer because exams were on the way, and we had to kind of pay more attention on school things just to get ready for final exams for finishing high school. So yeah, that was this. Then summer break again. I entered the university, which back then were like two main popular directions would be the lawyer or economy.
Oh
So I
yeah.
can't do lawyer
Same.
because I don't really like reading. I mean, I can read a magazine or some kind of very short stories in like short novels, but like reading, because reading, I kind of, it's not me. Yeah, I can listen, I can watch, but reading for me, and to be a lawyer, you definitely need to read a lot.
Yeah.
So that definitely was kind of thrown away. And well, next step would be then economy. Okay, I went in there, made my way to uni, to economy, and the first year I was going there. I didn't have any job. I was still living with my parents. And one of the customers who would come into this bar was opening up his own bar,
Hmm.
and he was just like pulling team together. And then he remembered, like, oh, but there was this fucking headbanger guy, like with the long hair. What is he doing right now? Because he seems to be like one that we can grab, and he's young. He can't actually ask for like crazy salary. So they found me again, and they offered me a job as a waiter down there at his kind of small bar restaurant. Yeah, I joined this team with big pleasure, and I was the newest guy within the staff. um, I was learning from everyone. I was like watching around, and I was super scared that I have to actually walk around with the tray and I have to take, orders. And then when the bartender started actually shaking, I was just watching what is he doing. Like, oh my god, it's incredible. I wasn't really interested in the kitchen, so because you can't really see them like working in the kitchen, but the bartender, you see them. He's working in front of you doing things. There was one guy already who was kind of throwing some bottles around and stuff,
Okay.
a little bit, but still. And I was thinking to myself, God damn, this is like, this is so cool, because you can kind of be like in spotlights. You have customers in front of you. You know the drinks, and you can attract girls at the same time. You know, and I was like,
Every-
wow, that's amazing. Well, this is, and then I basically decided for myself that's the way I want to go. I definitely back then in 1995, 96, I did not know that it will take me like and how far it will go. But that was definitely something that I kind of, and I haven't seen the movie Cocktail back then yet. I
Okay.
haven't seen it yet, right? Because well, it came out in 1988, but I didn't even have a clue that actually the movie exists. So, and yeah, that's when I realized that this is what I want to do. And from then, I was just literally starting kind of educating myself and trying to pull out from everyone who was around me more experience than me, and that was pretty much everyone because I was like, at the very back of the tail. And yeah, trying to pull it out. And then I said to myself, like, I am making some money here, and I'm spending all of that money to pay for the university that I don't really like. No. And so I just quit it, and I just focused on that craft, which I call a craft. And as you mentioned before, even doesn't matter what you do now. You can be a consultancy, you can be like a business owner, or the brand ambassador, but this is the craft, and craft is called bartending.
That,
And amazing job to do. Not easy. It seems super fun. It is fun, but it requires a lot of patience and a lot of practice, and also late nights and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically my very very kind of the trampoline where I jumped off, and where I basically set my rocket up to this industry.
okay, it's nice story. So technically, you started from dishwasher when you went as a bar back, when you being a waiter. So you tried all these, not maybe all, but like a lot of different like jobs in the restaurant. Okay, so what was next? So
So you know how the basement looks in the building, basically.
yeah, exactly. So how everything go then? You started to become you started bartending, yeah? And how it went? Did you started participate in competitions, or because the Flair, like the cocktail movie, I just checked while when you talked, it's yeah, it came in 1999. Wait, it came in nine. Now I really in 1998 or 1988. This movie.
Well, if my memory serves, it was 1988.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can be mistaken,
Yeah,
but
it's 88. So at that time, as I know, Flair bartending was quite popular. Did you get involved into Flair bartending?
I did, and I took it kind of on a serious level.
Okay, so can you tell this story, how you got involved into Flair bartending competitions, I guess, and everything else what follows?
Yeah, well, it's very simple because I didn't reach super stardom levels in this direction of bartending. Therefore, there is not much to say. However, why did I do that? Because I literally saw with my bare eyes, and I witnessed that if you do that back then, you get more attention, you make more tips. And yes, there were competitions, and I am kind of person that I want to prove that I can do better than someone else. Just because for yourself, right?
Yeah, I understand that.
At the moment, what I realize now, when I'm 44, standing in front of you here now, I can definitely tell you that the biggest competition is just within yourself. That's the biggest competition. But back then, it was the competition against these people.
Yeah, that's true.
You grow up, you change your mind a little bit,
Yeah, that's the way.
There were we had few, and again, there was no YouTube, there was no internet, and there was nothing that you could. It sounds like kind of from Ice Age. There was no internet, but there was no internet. There's nothing I could do about it. So it's kind of there were few guys around here in Riga who were like about 1-2 years more experienced than I was, and they were doing Flair. So that Flair that we see these days is nothing. I mean, that Flair that we did is nothing what you see these days. Yeah, it's absolutely different. But still, it was. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's interesting. I shall try. And I just started practicing a little bit. That was kind of on my free time, just an hour a day, maybe. Like if I have some free time, if I don't have to go somewhere with my friends, and that kind of I hooked it up. Maybe I should pay more attention on this as well. Back then we were renting an apartment outside of central Riga, and there was one tiny room where I would practice, and the floor was it was destroyed. It was like I even hit broke the window as well with a bottle practicing. So at one stage I took it kind of very seriously, and I started doing competitions as well. And that trophy, you can't see the trophy, but this trophy here is my first ever trophy that I won in my first competition.
Wow, cool. Very good.
That's why it's still here, because this is the first one.
It's very important. The first one is very important because that means you started something. You really started something, not just in your mind, but in reality, in your actions as well.
Yeah, and then many guys who you would talk to, they can definitely tell you that movie Cocktail inspired them most. And yeah, that's probably the time when I first saw it, and it was like, wow, that's amazing. If we can do something like that, at least half of this, that's legendary. That's just a fortune, yeah. But when you grow up and when you start practicing, you realize that so many tricks that they do in the film, actually, you can't make it happen in real life.
Really? Because I never did flip.
No. You can do the flip. You can do the catch, but it's not going to happen without spilling or like tails or something like that. So the alcohol will come out.
Okay.
So that's for the movie. It makes it look good, and then the more you practice yourself, the more you realize that that's a good background. That's something maybe you can steal a few ideas from them and then kind of try to work on them. And then there comes this kind of one thought of mine that if someone asks, what's your favorite scene in movie Cocktail? My answer is always, that's the love scene in the waterfall.
I don't remember it because it was a long time I really see this movie.
You should check it tonight.
Maybe not
the love scene in the waterfall it's so nice. And there's this music in the background, and all that part of the movie when young Brian Flanagan, Tom Cruise, is together with Jennifer, who was his girlfriend in the movie. That part of the movie when they are like literally in love, that's beautiful. That is nice. They are in Bahamas or Jamaica, somewhere there, yeah, and it's nice. It's amazing and everything. So yeah, well, moving on with Flair. Yes, I did a few competitions in Flair and also in Mixology. Back in 2001, I became the world champion in Bacardi-Martini Grand Prix.
Whoa.
Which was back then, I'd say maybe second most prestigious competition on the planet. So I won here the local, and then I had the chance to go to represent the country in the world final. Back then, it was held in Spain, in Malaga, where we had the world finals. I had 2 months to get ready before I had to actually jump on the plane, and that was first time when I was on the plane in 2001.
Okay.
I had a flight.
A lot of first time.
Since then, for those who know me and are following me on Facebook, you know that I always post a shot of Riga Black Balsam before a flight. Doesn't matter what time of the day it is, because I always have a shot of Riga Black in airport, literally in airport. And since then, that's kind of ritual. This is when it all started. Before the flight, we took a shot of Riga Black, and since then there was no single flight that I wouldn't do a shot. So I had 2 months to get myself ready, but that was classics. There was no Flair, so classical mixology. But still, there is some techniques, and you have to practice because you have 5 minutes that's given. Within these 5 minutes, you have to make 4 drinks. And there's a judge standing like literally here, like a guest, with a notepad and just making notes on judging your technique. And then your drinks go to the tasting judges, which they don't even know who made it. So they're sitting somewhere in a different room. So, and I was just practicing. I was in, back then I was working in a Grand Palace Hotel here in Riga. And my general manager, he was super generous to me. Basically, he like year before he paid my course, so I went to International Bartenders Association Training Center to learn bartending. So he paid for it. So he sent me out, but then I had to sign an agreement that I will work there minimum 1 year, which I was absolutely happy to do. So and so he was generous, and he would allow me to train behind the bar. And if there's some booze that you have to use from the shelf, do so. Just write it off so we know when we do the inventory. Stock take. So when there was the cash register down there with the clock on it, so that was my time when I was watching me to get done within 5 minutes. I was like waiting. I was waiting for the minute to change on the clock. I was like, okay, let's go. And I was just I was going through my routine every day when I was at work, like, because that wasn't busy bar, and I could allow to kind of do that. And I was just like doing this and watching how much time I left and is left, and basically I was getting ready for the competition as good as I could. And then I said to my girlfriend at the time, which is now my wife, so the same person. I told her that I think that I can get a bronze medal. So I didn't go there just to participate. I put to myself, and because I'm an ambitious man, that's definitely a fact. And I said to myself, I can get a bronze medal there. I feel ready. However, you don't know anything about the other competitors. Yes. These days, you can check online and you can see what everyone else is doing. But back then, you get there and then you just see each other for the first time. Yeah. Yeah. But I felt that strength, that power in me, that I can do that. Luckily for me, they didn't do the draw, but they just went alphabetically. So you go on stage in alphabetical order. Okay. And so I am AA, so I was number 1 on stage. Okay. So, I didn't have to keep all of that stress in my chest for the entire day, waiting for my number to run. I was just like, I've done my 5 minutes, remove your jacket, and enjoy. which helped a lot, because if I would have to wait till the back of the competition, that would definitely kind of, gives you more kind of thing. And then we had a fabulous time there, and my wife, she was there to support me, and definitely I have to give her credit as well, because she was there and my only supporter. So she was there. I felt that she's in audience. She actually she's together with me somewhere in I don't even know where.
Feeling
But it
that.
definitely pushed me, and I mean, I don't want to sound as like like romantic guy or something like that, but it definitely did help me. Well, yeah. So then everyone was done. All the competitions were over, and next day there's like we have to go to the prize like award ceremony and gala dinner, and okay, we're waiting for my category, my discipline to be announced, and like number 3, and I'm kind of ready. I'm going, and no, it's Italy. Damn it. Okay, maybe it could be silver, possible. Okay, I'm kind of ready again, and number 2, and silver medal goes to like whoopa, United States of America. Like, okay, and she was filming it. She was filming it on camera, and I told her, okay, switch it off. We can go back to the hotel. There's no reason to stay. And guess who was representing the United States back then in this year? Just make a guess. So who stayed second?
Who was representing United States? I have no idea.
Have you ever heard about
2001? Yeah. So in 2001, I was in 11th grade. Wasn't even having an idea I would never be a bartender.
but even now in 2020, he is still around.
Still around. So okay,
big time.
If he was 20, so or older, but at least
he was older than me. He is older than me.
He's older. So for 50, I don't know now. Now everything is mixed. And some people might live in London, who lived who are American. So and I don't know where they're from. Is he original American? Is he original American?
I can't really tell, but I think yes. So it's Dale DeGroff.
I wanted to say that. Yeah, I wanted to say that, but I think he lives in London now. No,
maybe now, but that was back then. So.
Yeah.
But
what I wasn't sure if he was American.
And so when we got the score sheets, it was 0.5 points that he lost to me. I don't want to say I win because that's very impossible to win Dale DeGroff. So that's why I can say that he lost 0.5 points to actually overtake me.
But this is
so funny. And then when they say like, and the gold medal, the first place is, and you know how Italians, they can't really say Latvia. They are like kind of Letonia. Like someone, no, it's Latvia. Yeah. Like, and I was literally crying in front of like 150 people and everything. So
that's amazing.
Something that I can really take from my bartending background as the highest point. Also, we did some
double win. You win a competition, and you participated with Dale DeGroff in the same competition, and actually you did better than him in this one, definitely. So it's like, wow, it's a double story.
That's crazy, right? If you think, that's crazy. So that means that, and this is what I want to say to all younger bartenders: nothing's impossible. But definitely what you have to do is you have to work on that. Reading books and buying long bar spoons does not help. You definitely have to work, and you have to have a faith in it. You have to believe in that. And just walking around and talking about like some recipes that you have seen from this and that, that's fine. But you actually have to make them happen in life. Try to do this. Try to implement something. Try to jump over it. Try to use some idea and just change the environment of that idea, of the glass or something like that. There are like, same as they say, music, yeah? It's just 8 notes, but we have like millions of songs within just 8 songs. Same as with drinks, yeah? We have rum, we have tequila, this and that. You can make your own shrubs, you can make your own infusions. It's just the endless world. It's just no boundaries, yeah? So I can fill this glass up with, this is lemonade right now. But I can do like so many different things, yeah?
Definitely.
That's homemade lemonade, by the way. Mexican recipe.
Well, okay, cool.
fresh lime, some caster sugar, and fizzy water on top. That's it.
Okay, it said I can't take and taste it now.
Well,
Okay.
that's it. And then yes, we did remain a little bit in Flair industry, and I wanted to kind of and why I mean we did, because there's another person I have definitely mentioned. We both kind of started flaring more and practicing more. We went to Italy, to GPF Italia Flair school, where we learned mm, working Flair. Came back and actually introduced working Flair in Riga's bar scene,
Okay.
because people knew that it exists, but no one actually realized how to make it, how to kind of plan this. So Guido, who is my longtime partner in crime in bartending, so we went together to Italy, had these lessons. Then we moved back and we started our own bar school here, which we called Lords of Liquids. And well, we had a room to practice. We were practicing. We became like a tandem bartending as well. Like we were doing shows, private events in a tandem. We were kind of participating in a few like tandem category bar competitions as well. Yeah, kind of like this. Then in 2004, I was offered to become a partner in a business, and we started our own bar here in Riga, which was called Hedonia 55. It was super successful for 3.5 years. I'd say the busiest nightclub, not a nightclub, the busiest night bar in Riga. On Fridays, Saturdays, we were kind of working up to 6 a.m. in the morning with DJ, with like drunk people around you and everything. It was like, again, another good lesson for the life and for like how to deal with all of this, still being a bartender and also being like basically maybe a bouncer, also a manager, how to manage the business, which I obviously did not know properly how to do that. If I'd be given an opportunity right now, I would definitely see different eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this went on. Then we had to sell the business. We sold the business. I moved to London to study a bit more about alcohol, about this industry, to learn tequila, which I now work for as well. I ended up in a very good bar in Covent Garden, which belonged to the same company as Roadhouse was. Roadhouse no longer exists, unfortunately. It was the best Flair bars in the world. So I was working for the same company and literally across the square from Roadhouse. So we were like kind of located like one cigarette away from each other. And so this is where I kind of was introduced to kind of bigger Flair industry, because few Flair legends back then, like Adriano Marcelino, for instance, he was working there. Yeah. Nikki Patras, who was also managing Roadhouse, and she's one of the Flair female legendary persons. So Jay Dutois, not to mention as well, yeah, who basically was looking after me a little bit, and he would give me some tips and this and that and that. He was organizing the Roadhouse competition. He would help me to get ready a little bit for the competition. So I was doing a few Roadhouses as well. But then at one point, I realized that I like it. I like it very, very much. But there are many people around that actually can do it better than me can. And I decided, that's it. I'm not going to waste my time on this, because if you can't, and I really want to be on top. Yeah.
Yes.
If I can't be on top, then fuck it. And because I feel that it's not going to work. It's not like kind of I am giving up. No, I'm not giving up. I'm changing my way how to get to the top. It's not Flair, okay? It can be something else. And something else was like basically learning deeply what is tequila, learning deeply actually what is bartending, what is classical bartending, what are the legends in bartending industry, history of bartending and everything like that. So, and now I'm here.
Okay. Make everything short. Now I'm here.
Yeah, well, there is in between. I spent almost 5 years in London, which was absolutely perfect lesson.
So it was from 2008 till 13, or
7 to 12, 7 to 11, 7 to 11. Yeah,
7 to 11.
End of 11, we came back home. because we were there with the whole family.
Okay.
Then we came back home, and not a single day to regret, to be honest with you. Yes, it was tough times. It was long hours. It was crazy, insane parties. But I had a chance to meet so many people from around the world, because London is the capital of cocktails as well. That's my thought. That it was legendary. And then I moved back, and since 2011, I'm here in Riga, working with William Grant & Sons whiskey company for the last 8 years. Being the ambassador for all the portfolio, which is Tullamore Dew, Monkey Shoulder, Sailor Jerry, Hendrick's Gin, Glenfiddich, Grant's blended Scotch.
Okay.
So I was an ambassador for that portfolio here in Baltics.
Okay.
And this is how we met, you and I.
Yeah. I remember you came with Grants. I think at first it was with Grants.
Yeah, Monkey Shoulder. We didn't have Monkey Shoulder in our portfolio back then. Yeah. So Grant's, Tullamore Dew, Glenfiddich would be priorities, but then. I was basically begging the marketing manager to let's get Monkey Shoulder and Sailor Jerry in here because I know what is it and I know what to do with that. They trusted me and they said, okay, let's do this. And then just Monkey Shoulder became like kind of wow. And there was one time when I was just recognized by the monkey guy. Some people didn't even know my name. It's like, oh, the monkey guy. Yeah. Oh, I saw you on the street with the monkey guy. This is how big it became, and this is really cool. I mean, people recognize you. It doesn't matter how they recognize you. If they recognize you, and if you can leave something behind when you leave the room after the masterclass, it's great. I feel happy. I feel absolutely happy if there's at least one person who was hooked up. I hope there's more than one, but that gives me, additional power or energy to go to the next one, to next masterclass, or a guest shift at the end. We had a fabulous guest shift last Thursday in Vilnius in Distilleria, and that was the first trip. And again, this is like coincidence because when I was joining Amber Distribution Company in Baltics with William Grant's portfolio. I spent a lot of time learning at the desk about all the brands. I spent like many hours rehearsing my presentations in front of my marketing managers and people who were in charge of me, because they said, and there was one specific lady who said that when I feel you're ready, then you just go out to the market. So, and that was a good practice again. And because I've never done it before in my life. And then the time comes, yes, I'm ready. I had to do a few masterclasses and trainings and tastings here in Riga, some other cities in Latvia. And then I had this first trip to Lithuania. When I went with the Tullamore Dew masterclass, and that was my first business trip ever, kind of, yeah. It's like a long time ago. And that was Lithuania. And then what we had this year in March, we had a total lockdown in the entire globe because of coronavirus. And it's locked down again. So my last trip was, I came home from US already with Rooster Rojo in March 9 this year.
Okay.
So that was my last trip.
Okay, so it was just before they actually closed all the borders. Yes. So in March was my last trip. Since March we were locked down. I was doing like so much work on Instagram and social media from this studio here, and also from another one when we moved to our country home for 2 months. Mm-hmm. Basically, I didn't travel. I didn't travel since March till last Thursday, when firstly we could actually step outside of the country and do some work already, and that was Lithuania again. So coincidence or something, I don't know. And I was very happy when I was driving there, because I usually drive to Vilnius. It's just 300 kilometers. I was super excited, and I was driving there because I had a masterclass to do of Rooster Rojo, and later on in the evening I had a special guest shift on my Margarita menu, same bar in Distilleria. And I have to tell you the truth, man,
it was so great feeling that you had all the bartenders, they would come just to say hello and maybe just to have one margarita, or just running by, sorry, I'm busy, I have to go to work. But he just would come in to say, hello, how are you? It's nice to see you. Yeah. That is so nice feeling. It's just like phenomenal.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So, okay. So, at first I would ask you, so how did you got to become a Rooster Rojo? Do I pronounce correct? Rojo?
Rooster Rojo.
Rojo. Okay. Yeah. How did you become a Rooster Rojo global brand ambassador? So you worked as a brand ambassador from whiskey brands, and then what changed? I mean, was it difficult, or was it just a natural how the path went for you just to become?
Well, difficult. All the difficulties that I faced was leaving the brands I was together for nearly 8 years, and that I really fell in love with. Also, all the people who are behind these brands on a global scale, global ambassadors, brand directors, marketing directors, already from the brand owners. Yeah, I'm not talking about distribution here, but I'm talking about people already on the there. We made such good friends, and we were like being in touch for these 8 years, and that was difficult. That was really difficult to make the decision that there is this kind of step you have to take into something that you don't know, maybe, but definitely you have to make the step, and that was difficult. Other part, becoming from whiskey or gin to tequila, it's not actually this difficult, because tequila was always my passion. Yeah, same with gin and whiskey. So there was 3 categories that I would be very kind of passionate about. It is tequila, whiskey, and gin. I appreciate the rest. They're great to have a shot or to have like some nice tiki cocktail with rum, but these are the ones that actually give me additional interest in that. I was learning about tequila back then as well, but tequila was not my job. Yeah, my job was whiskey and gin, but tequila was my kind of hobby. And since there was an opportunity, I was offered the position, because Rooster Rojo is a new brand. It exists only for 3 years. So this August 24th, we celebrated our 3rd anniversary. And the brand obviously needed a brand ambassador, because it is very vital position right now. This is like the good way, what I think, to represent the brand. If you target your brand to on-trade, if it's just off-trade product, like many whiskeys or even many tequilas, then you probably don't really need an ambassador, because if shops or off-trade is your only kind of target. But if you target bartenders, if you target bars and on-trade part of the room, then the brand ambassador is a very important tool in your toolbox.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, considering my experience, maybe considering my contacts and people I know, also not to mention that I'm a member of International Bartenders Association, and for the last 5 years I have been the official host of the World Finals, which gives me again like the wide range of connections, and we keep in touch with everyone. So basically, at the moment, I think there's every continent where I can actually point out that I have a friend. Not Antarctica, because there's no bars, but in Africa, Australia, Latin America, US, Canada, pretty much everywhere where the bar scene is active, I can find at least one person who I know.
Yeah, that's great.
Which again, I'm super happy and thankful for that these people we kind of met with everyone who I know, and that definitely gives you additional strength. And also they can be your background, because there's always, you can count on them, right? I can just type up a guy in Israel that I know and like, listen, this and that or that. Would you do me a favor? I mean, really, I need you to get this bottle in bar and play around with it, and then we can have a call. Just tell me what you think about it. Yeah, it's very, very kind of cool thing to have. And there are like big global ambassadors that I can mention who are like above me, like far away. And it's not a competition in between. It is just like a fact that they have been around for longer. They are better recognized. They are they have been around for longer, right?
Yes.
So, and obviously it depends with what brand you work and what the brand actually supports. If your brand supports such an organization as Tales of the Cocktail in New Orleans,
yeah,
legendary. That's all you need. If your brand supports Drinks International, world's best bars, again, boom, straight away. You just become onto their kind of plate and you are with them. However, it's a different level. And this is if the brand is going that direction, the brand can afford to spend that amount of cash because it costs something, obviously. So that helps a lot. But there are like many good and great brand ambassadors for different categories, like for rums, for whiskeys, for vodka. That would be my friends at the same time, but also people who I would watch how they work and try to learn something from them. Same as like masterclasses. If you say that, oh, I know it, I know the topic, right? Yeah, it's fine. You know the topic, but you don't know the guy who actually is going to be presenter. And there's always a masterclass that you can pick up something, even though that you know the topic, but the way he presents, there is something that, wow, that was fucking cool. That's definitely, I have to use it. Or you see him doing something which looks horrible. And then you think for yourself that this is definitely not a thing I want to repeat. Because it didn't look good, or he said something, or his body language was something. And when I go to a masterclass, these are the things I'm picking up. I'm trying to I am not judging, but I am just I'm observing. I'm observing and trying to soak up, but definitely not judging. Don't get me wrong, yeah? I'm not judging anyone. I'm not here to judge. And that just makes you better. That makes you stronger, and that's it.
Okay, Ansis, can you share one good recipe of Margarita with us?
Oh, absolutely. Unfortunately, I can't make it because I wasn't prepared to make a drink.
No, just.
I have everything. I don't have triple sec at home. I finished that, but I have the rest.
Anyway,
I have the rest. So my Margarita recipe would be, and I have I had a chance to work on that because the bar I used to work in London, the one I mentioned, we had about 180 different tequilas on the back bar, including mezcals. So that would be like 140, 150 tequilas, not brands, but bottles. Yeah, because one brand is 3 bottles, sometimes 4.
Yeah.
So, and the rest would be mezcals. I think there was one Sotol as well, but I don't really remember. So, but anyway, that would be like 180 agave spirits on the shelf. And one of our specialties was Margarita. And London, we all know it is a very busy city.
Yes.
Not in lockdown situation, obviously. So I was the bar manager there. I was the one who was in charge of taking stocks and doing like all the calculation sheets and everything. So we were doing the stock take every week, and we were like going through sales every week. We would sell around 400 to 500 margaritas a week in this bar.
500 margaritas a week, a lot.
Yeah. Mojitos would be pretty much the same page. And then there was the rest. But mojito and margarita, that was basically like, wow. And the way we were making mojitos, we were actually muddling. So from the muddler, my hand here was basically, my skin here on this hand was kind of tough because from the muddler kind of thing, yeah. And margaritas, the way we made margaritas, we didn't pre-juice the limes. Every margarita was a fresh lime that we squeezed in front of the customer.
Great. Okay. That's
so
good.
Basically, you master out this as well all the time.
So Popeyes muscles, like
Yeah. Which also helps me in ice hockey because I still play ice hockey. That's my
yeah,
sport
yes.
number one.
Oh, okay. Didn't
Yeah,
know
that's
that.
my kind of my hobby.
Wow, cool.
This was how we were making them, and within these 4 years that I was working behind this bar and managing the bar, I had a chance to master out the way I make my perfect margarita. So my signature margarita. It is still within classics, and basically what I did, I combined both together. I combined classic with Tommy's.
Okay.
I brought them together. So here comes the recipe. My perfect margarita, triple sec or Cointreau, doesn't matter the brand, as long as it's 39 ABV and above.
Okay.
Because there are some triple secs that are like 28 or something. They're too sweet. So what I need is like 39, like Giffard triple sec, for instance, or Cointreau.
Grand Marnier. Grand Marnier.
Grand Marnier is a little bit different. Grand Marnier is cognac.
Yes.
And that would definitely, we had one, I can't remember what was it called. Was it Rolls-Royce Margarita or something like that? That we were making. Cadillac, yeah. We were making it with the Patron and with Grand Marnier. So, and that was, instead of being like 675 in pounds sterling, that would be 10 quid.
Okay.
But the house one was with Cointreau.
Okay.
So that is 45 mils of Reposado.
Reposado, okay.
Yeah, that's this is, as you asked, what's your favorite
margarita?
Yeah,
exactly.
If I would come into your bar and you would offer me a margarita based on Blanco, I would be super happy actually to enjoy it. But if you would give me a chance to choose, I would ask kindly for Reposado.
Okay.
So then I would use 45 mils of Reposado, Rooster Rojo, 20 milliliters of triple sec.
Okay. 1
whole lime to squeeze.
Okay, so it's around 30 milliliters should be.
Something around, yeah, but limes can be like, it is, yeah, in and out, 25 to 32, something like that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, I always juice it out first. That's the first thing I do when I make margarita. Lime goes first. And by doing this, I can actually detect how juicy the lime is.
Okay.
Then after that, I would add tequila triple sec. And considering how much was the lime in it, there's also agave nectar that I would add additionally.
Okay.
Approximately 1 bar spoon. So it would be 3 to 6 to 7 milliliters of agave.
Yes.
Then you shake it and you serve it over rocks in a rocks glass with a sea salt trim on the side, on a rim.
Okay. Okay. Good recipe. I will try it. Definitely.
Yeah. I can later on. I can leave a comment with the recipe.
That would be very good if you leave it. If you leave a recipe on YouTube where our podcast is. So I will pin it so everybody will see it on top and always can check and make it.
Yeah,
that's great. Okay, Ansis, very good. I'm already thinking about margarita.
It is a mouth-watering thing. Margarita is, I think, margarita is the queen of the cocktails. Mm-hmm. And according to Drinks International 2019, it is top 7 in the world.
Top 7 in the world. Yeah, it's definitely.
It's number 7 cocktail in the world, and obviously this is the most popular cocktail with tequila, right?
Definitely.
And I appreciate it a lot. And now when I'm doing my guest shifts, I have a special margarita list. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4. It's 4 or 5. It depends how busy the bar is, because I don't want to kind of catch myself in a super busy environment that you don't have a chance to talk to customers. Yeah, we once actually spoke with Eddie from Cocktails for You.
Yeah.
Oh, Eddie, if you're watching it.
Yeah.
It wasn't far, right?
Yeah. Same quote.
We were once actually, we had a chat with him, and we communicate quite often, like for many reasons, just chit chat, sometimes for work. And he once said that a guest shift doesn't have to be crazy busy.
Exactly.
If it's crazy busy, it's not guest shift. Guest shift is something that you have to talk to people, that you have to show the brand, that you have to show your personality. Definitely. But if it's like busy, like tickets keep coming, you just like kind of, I'm here to work, like on a dispense bar.
Yeah, it's work, definitely. Yeah.
So it makes no sense. So
good idea.
And that's why my kind of margarita list is according to how big is the place, what day of the week is that. So it would be 3 margaritas always. Sometimes it would be 4 or 5, like twists. That's the one is my signature. And then I would add, and I can name right now which are top 2 most popular, is white chocolate margarita.
White chocolate margarita. Okay, Ansis, let's do like that. After our podcast, you will send me, if you can, of course, your list, and I will put it those recipes and in the description under this video. If it's
Absolutely.
okay. Oh yeah.
And if I have another minute or 2 to go with, because I was waiting for some funny stories from your past, and I had one.
Okay. I still have some questions, to ask. So let's do it.
I thought we're running out of time. No.
No. I mean, if you're okay, we can still talk because
absolutely. Just let me grab a drink.
Okay. Because I still have. I really want to find out before we finish. So, okay, tell me this funny story, and then I'll move on with my questions.
All right. So, cheers. I have to get some shot before I tell that story.
All right, definitely.
There was this the bar I used to own in Riga. They had only a 55.
Yeah.
And that happened in that place. So we're working. It's Friday night. Not like super late yet. So it's not crazy busy. But it's kind of okay. So you're constantly doing something. You don't have a chat. You don't have time actually to lean over and like have a chat with the customer.
Yes.
You can talk, but doing something. And there are 3 girls sitting in front of me at the bar. And you can feel that actually they are talking about you, right?
Yeah, of course, because
you can definitely feel that. And one of those girls, she was going kind of like that. She really wants my number, my phone number, and I could hear that, but I didn't say anything. I'm still working, so I'm aware of actually like what she's after. And her friends, there are other 2 girls. They were like they tried to encourage her. Just ask, come on, ask, go. And like suddenly she was like, okay, she's brave enough. She's like, oh, hey, can I ask you a question? Like, yeah, go on. Just out of curiosity, can I have your phone number? She said, that's what she said. It's like kind of, Obviously, it is. It's overwhelming, right? It's like, oh, it's like, all right, but why? I just played an idiot, It's like kind of. Okay. Like normally, what guys would do is like straight away, here you go, call me in an hour, I'll be off the shift, right? But I was already kind of in a relationship, so anyway, so it wouldn't work out. And I was like, why? She goes, well, I kind of, just in case, maybe we can I can call you someday. I said, okay, but just imagine vice versa. If I would just come up to you, it's like, can I have your number? She says, I would definitely give you straight away, if that would be you who asks. I said, okay, thank you very much. That's great. And here's the deal. Because I really didn't want to give her a number, but she's the customer, and I was like, I don't want to sound like a dick or something, yeah? That's just on a level of fun and everything. And then she was really nice girl and everything. But I was like, okay, but here's the deal. Back then, it was 2005, yeah? We had 7 digits in phone number.
Yeah.
Without country code. Yeah. Like domestic, that would be 7 digits. And I said, okay, but here's the deal. You buy a drink, I'll give you a number. But drinks just for you. You can't buy drinks for your friends. I mean, it doesn't work like kind of you buy 3 Prosecco's right now and I'll give you 3 digits. No.
I got it.
These 2, that's a different business. It's just you and I right now. You buy a drink, I'll give you a number. Drink, next number.
Okay.
So she bought 7 drinks. She was pretty drunk. Not like kind of wasted drunk, but kind of tipsy.
Okay.
And she had 7 digits of my number, but in random order.
Oh, you bad boy, bad boy.
So probably she is still trying to find the right combination. I don't know.
She didn't call in 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Until now, she's not figured out it. Yeah.
I didn't have a phone call from her.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny. That's a nice story, and that's a good advice. Sometimes, when people don't know what to do behind the bar when customer asks something, because as you say, the customer is still a customer, but you also are a person with your needs and your what you like relationship, or it depends on what station. So it's very good advice that you can play some game with a customer, so it's fun for him, it's fun for you, it's a good situation, and you can solve out everything. Very cool. Yeah, I like
And not to mention, that was era when we didn't have Facebook yet.
Yeah, 2005. It's just it wasn't Facebook yet.
Facebook was, I think, 2007.
But it still just started, so it's.
Or if it was just at the beginning. It definitely it wasn't that easy to find a person. Yeah.
And nobody used it because nobody used it as they use it now. It was different times. It's very hard to understand if young bartenders are listening to this podcast. Like how, but
yeah, how's that possible, right?
All right, Ansis, I have an important question to you. What do you think? It's your opinion through the time, for what you've seen. What are the 1, 2, 3, 4 things, the most important? What separates good bartender from best bartender, from great bartender? What are those couple things, or 1 or 2 or 3 points that you can point out? What you think that's
from a good one to the great one?
Yeah. What separates good bartender from a great one? Because the bad bartender, we all know the bad bartender, it's bad, but it's a good bartender and it's a great bartender. It's what that gap.
Well, first of all, I want to say that it doesn't really matter where do you work. Is it a pub, or is it a high-end cocktail bar, or is it like a 5-star hotel lobby bar? Or is it like some kind of coffee place? If you are behind the bar and you do it with the great passion, you are already a bartender. And even if it's in a pub, the good bartender would come to work and would do his shift as it requires. He would be polite. He would do all the things that the management says and the particular bar actually is about, and he would go home. Great bartender would try to create something that can help to develop that particular place where he works right now. I'm not talking about kind of chains right now where there's nothing you can change, because this is as it is, like McDonald's. McDonald's is here and they're the same. Yeah. But I'm talking about the bar where you actually can change something.
Yeah.
So the great bartender is the one who, being behind the bar, he sees things that could be improved to improve sales as well, obviously, because if business is about like making money, but not just, I'm not even talking about to improve sales, but improve service, improve menu, improve maybe working station. So he kind of thinks in 3D.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And he can recommend it to the manager. He can recommend it to the head bartender or something. So he can just drop in ideas or something like that. I can give an example, which is probably the way bigger than this. But think about Formula One.
Okay.
And I can ask you the same question. What is the difference between good driver and great driver? Even though that I hate the person, I have to admit that this is what he did. What was Ferrari before Michael Schumacher actually sat into the car? It was down there. Okay. And he, by being with the team, he brought the team up to the world champion.
Okay.
That was him.
That's cool.
That was him. So that is the difference. Good driver and great driver. So because he sees how to actually work on the vehicle, on the car, on the formula, what to improve, this and that or that, many details. And about the bartender, I think it's the same thing. But what I have to say, and I always keep saying that, and please forgive me if I actually touched someone, and someone thinks that kind of that guy's like rubbish. If you think so, that's absolutely your free will. But this is my opinion only. The great bartender does not mean that you have a leather apron, big beard, and the longest bar stool in industry.
Well, last one was good.
Right? That doesn't make you the greatest one.
Okay.
I don't know. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, you answered very good, very good. I like your answer. I mean, I don't have to like your answer, but I really liked it because it's not. But what's important is that your experience is very huge, and whatever answer it is, it's very important. It doesn't matter people like it or not. And then if you say that, people might think that you are a dick or something, but saying that, but it doesn't matter because you are talking from like a really huge experience, and your answers are, your answers are very important. And what people take out from that is just on them. If we just take out some insult, it's their problem. If we take out, and
I'll give you a few examples, and some of them probably. Well, in the mixology world, it is not as easy, but still, it is. I can do that. I can give you a few names right now, and I'm very sorry that I'm sorry for not to mention any other names, but it doesn't mean that actually I bring these people higher than anyone else.
Yeah,
but
it's understandable.
To prove my words,
okay.
Let's speak about Flair Bartending.
Okay.
Right? Flair Bartending develops. It is developing all the time, right? But you have to definitely mention few names that brought something into the industry, and that it was kind of a breath of fresh air. People who made it to the level as it is now, and it escalates from here. It is definitely Christian Delpeche, or basically both of them, both brothers. But Christian started it earlier, so he probably would be the one to memorize more rather than Rodrigo. That would be one example, on Flair. That you give something to the industry, you give something to this kind of direction, which the rest of the world is just wow, right? And Tom Dyer definitely would be another person to mention, because this is a bit different style, and also he brought a new kind of light into all the Flair craft.
Okay.
If we talk about mixology, then I'd say same Dale DeGroff. But if we're talking about a bit kind of later years, right? I mean, now, because if we dig up in the past, we can go through all the classics. We can mention Peter Dorelli. We can mention like all the managers from Savoy, and then so on and so on. But if we talk about these days, then I would say that would be Eric Lawrence, who has had an impact and left something in the modern era mixology, just with one thing, with the way his attitude is when he works, what he does, and how always clean and focused and sane. So it's not like he's like a molecule that actually runs around. No, if you see him work, he will make that cocktail, the same cocktail, he will make same style, because that's his style. So, and he brought it kind of into this. And another person, and it's funny, but that's like my good friend, but he definitely brought something, is Martin Hudak, and they kind of work together.
Yeah,
but what Martin did with the coffee industry, and I mean coffee and cocktails, that's definitely him. He cracked the ice, and he brought these two things together, coffee and cocktails. That's him. Yes. And the world definitely will recognize him. So that is what makes good bartender different from the great bartender. They're still bartenders, but they basically not invented something, but they encouraged, and they were brave enough and had some interest to kind of pull things together.
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, cool. I know Martin myself. We just had a podcast couple podcasts ago, like we were having with you. He's really a great guy, and the coffee thing, wow. I would like to taste his coffees and cocktails. So he said he will come to Miami. We will do that.
Oh, you have to, yes.
Okay, Ansis, one more important question. As we are doing this podcast now in this COVID situation, even it gets a little bit lighter, but still, I mean, it's still a lot of unknown, let's say like that. So what is your thought? Maybe you have some takeouts, or maybe you was thinking it's definitely a lot of chances that it will go this direction. What do you see for the hospitality, maybe bartending industry? How it will shape? Because it probably will be a little bit shaped, it won't be exactly as it was before that, after some time. That's what I believe, at least, that it will never come back to normal. How close it will, to normal what it was. How close it will come to that, I don't know. So what's your insights? What will change? What new things we could see, or what could happen because of this situation in bartending industry? Like 1-2 takeouts, so if you was thinking about that, or if you talked to some people.
Oh yeah, we have had a chat about this with many people, and first of all, what you have to realize is that what you say, it won't come back to normal, but it won't come back to normal because only from our point of view. 20 years from now, that will be absolutely normal.
Yeah, definitely. True.
For us, these will be changes, and this will be something that basically all dog can't learn new tricks.
Okay.
But 20 years from now, or 30 or 50 years from now, these people who will step into the bar, that's for them going to be normal. So these things that would change, I believe, is cleanness of the bar, definitely. Kind of trying to keep it as sterilized as possible. Okay. That, I think, will become a must thing, like just a regular. Yeah, I know there are still many people who do not wash hands after the toilet. Yeah, and that's just, but I mean, I'm talking about like must-have things from the service point of view. There some restrictions on, not restrictions, but some must-have things as to guarantee as clean as possible serve in business.
Okay.
If we talk about already that side of the bar, then probably it won't be allowed to keep cutlery on the table or glassware on the table, as you set up the table in restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
That probably will go. Because it is kind of a little bit tricky, yeah. When someone sneezes on a fork and knife, which is next to the table, right, and so then you sit at the table, and it can help kind of to keep it more safe, yeah.
But what do you, Ansis? What do you think from more like, let's say, do you think the bartending will become like it was before? Like, for example, now. It's in different countries, it's different. Like, for example, in America now, in Miami at least, they just opened the inside. So until now, the bars, people can't go to the bar and order a drink. They have to sit at a table. The server comes and server brings. Do you think it will become norm, and it won't be like it was when people come to the bar, like in a cocktail movie, let's say, a lot of people be like behind the bar and you're just serving there, and will it come back to that?
I hope not. I hope it will come back, because this is what all the bartending is about. The bartending is about society and connecting people, and the bartender is there to actually make communication with the guest, and the guest wants it. The guest needs it.
Yeah, exactly.
Customers, they need it. They need that communication with the bartender, because bartender can listen to your innermost fears or problems. The bartender can entertain you. The bartender can give you an advice. The bartender is the person who to talk to if you are alone and waiting for your girlfriend or friend or whatever, if someone's running late, so you can talk to. Yeah, these days you can also talk to Twitter, which is what people do, yeah, myself included. but I hope it's not going to be kind of cancelled, and it will still remain. As soon as like the vaccine comes or something like that, and I hope it comes very soon because I very much miss traveling. I want to go out, and as soon as the like travel restrictions are lifted, I'll jump on a plane and I'll start to go around the planet just to see all the markets. And the US definitely is on the list as well. So we see you in Florida.
Yeah. Definitely give me a text.
Oh yeah, big time, my friend. By the way, do you know that there's one Latvian guy as well in Florida? Oldest?
I don't know. It might be a lot, I guess.
I will put you both together on Facebook, so you can see each other.
That's cool.
And another thing, what I think it will remain is the time restriction, which actually is not a very bad thing, to be honest with you. When you have time restriction, that puts you in somehow like kind of box that you have to plan your night out. Also, it helps for the staff because you don't have to do like super long hours and then go home, have a rest for 3-4 hours, and then come back to the shift. It's normal. It's absolutely not normal. But if you have this time restriction, and obviously in every country that's going to be different.
Yeah.
That is the thing I think will remain, and I very, very much hope that everyone will accept it and understand why do we need it. So, 3-4 a.m. is absolutely fine. You don't have to work till 7 a.m. in the morning. It's like it's not normal. Yeah, well, nightclub is a different story, but we're talking about like bars, like high-end, like volume bars. Yeah, sometimes it's crazy. People don't want to go home. Like one more. Yeah, it's Friday night. Come on. Yeah, they're just like throwing you coins and like wearing you some notes and like me first. Like 2 more Cuba Libras. And it's Jesus Christ. It's 10-4, right?
Yeah.
You have to realize that. I mean, from the customer point of view, it's the same as in the shop. If the shop is closed, you can't actually get in and buy bread, because it's closed.
True.
Why bar is not the same? Yeah, okay, yeah, we go out there to have fun, but even a football game, you go out there to have fun, but football game ends at one point, and you have to go home, right?
Yeah, that's in America it's different on the state, but in some places, like some time ago I used to live in another state, so we close everything at 2. Nightclubs, bars, actually alcohol sales stops at 2 everywhere, in shops everywhere, and related to that, bars close, everything close at 2. So it's like that, it's how to say, it's people do like that, everything is it's a norm,
Yeah.
Okay, Ansis. One more question. What do you have any what vision do you have for yourself in 10 years? What Ansis will be in 10 years? What if you want to share, maybe you don't want, it's okay. I won't pursue.
No, I can try.
More about maybe this industry, except
I'm not changing the industry. I'm not changing the industry. That is what I live for.
What's your dream to be in 10 years? Actually, what's your dream to be in 10 years? Yeah.
Well, I don't have such a dream because if you have a dream of something, then it can turn out pretty bad for you if the dream does not come true. However, you have to put as much as you can into effort to realize, basically to make this dream realistic. But my thoughts, definitely I can share them, but please do not set it in stone, and then in 2030, don't come up to me and say like, yeah, but you said. Yeah, if it doesn't work, I apologize for that. What I think will happen is that, so in 10 years from now, I will be 54, which is a strong age male.
True.
And I think that I will finally have my Margarita bar.
All right. Where?
Bar. Which where?
Well, where would you like to have it?
Why?
No. Where?
Where? Well, I'll start with Riga.
Okay.
I'll start with Riga, and then we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So yeah. My daughter is 18, and maybe in a few years she will be happy to take over the business, and I can be just as a consultant. I don't know. And then she can go and with fresh ideas open up like branches all over the world. That's even better. But yeah, I'll start with Riga because this is where I know everything. I know how it works, and I know my clientele, and I don't need much to fulfill my kind of some needs.
Okay.
The bar I see is very tiny, just serving not just margaritas, obviously, but that will be margarita-based bar. That is my kind of not dream, but something I'm thinking about for the last few months or something. But thinking very strongly. Also, I think that I am still in the industry. Maybe doing consultancy for some brands or for some certain distillery, maybe something like that. Helping them out with getting connections with the trade. Maybe helping them with social media, which I pay a lot of interest in and learn how to do social media as well. That's my kind of another thing that I do on the side.
Okay.
That's what I see. So basically, working with the maybe not particular brand, but also having my own margarita bar.
All right. Nice.
You never say you can't be like 100% sure about that. That's why I don't want to make any promises. But you have to move on. You have to kind of go on a little bit and maybe try to take some risks to get somewhere. We'll see what happens. I won't actually throw the coin for my future. I won't do that, right? Okay, cocktail bar, fine.
All right. I wish you answers to these dreams to come true, and I'll definitely visit your bar and we'll drink some margaritas there and make some videos on making great margaritas. Yeah, definitely. One short question before ending, and wrapping everything up. What would Ansis do if he wouldn't be in the hospitality industry?
That's very easy to answer. Super easy to answer. My dream. At the moment, I am super happy because if there would be no hospitality industry, I would definitely not met my wife. I wouldn't have such an adorable daughter that I have, and there would be no family as it is now. That's true because we wouldn't met. But my all-time dream is ice hockey, and I played ice hockey when I was in school. I played it with the bottom of my heart, and there was one point when my parents actually kind of took me out from it because I had to go to school as well. So when I was 12, I was basically cut off.
Oh, okay.
So if that would not happen, then probably I would be like a professional ice hockey player. But you never know. Again, you never know. There can be some very bad injuries, and you have to quit your career, and then you just basically you are broke.
And when you join and become a bartender.
and then I probably join the bartending scene. But yeah, ice hockey definitely would be one thing that is in my heart here and never left since I first step on ice.
All right.
And even now, I still play it as much as I can. There's a group of friends that we always kind of go out on the rink and we play. Sometimes it's a bit tough, but obviously with not such kind of anger to each other because we're friends and there's nothing you can kind of prove to someone. You just go out and you have fun. But sometimes it gets a little bit tough, like it's high speeds,
I mean, I never tried it, and I see people playing. It's tough. It's not basketball. You have to slide, and you have come on, speeds, and it's different. All right, Ansis. So thank you very much for conversation. It was really great. I really enjoyed it and got inspired. I didn't know many facts about you, and that was I'm still remember that part of our conversation when you said you won a
Bacardi-Martini Grand Prix.
What's called Bacardi-Martini, yeah, Bacardi-Martini Grand Prix, and you won, and Dale DeGroff was in that competition, and you was a bit better than him that time. So it's great to know. It's a great story. It's really inspiring, and I really got inspired, and I'm very happy we had this conversation. And I believe that many people who will be listening this podcast, they will also take out a lot of good insights. And because I really took it, so I'm really very happy I did it this podcast. Even if none of the viewers will be viewing it, I'm happy because I got what I wanted, and I want to share that with our people. So I believe they will watch. And I'm reminding you about that Margarita list that I will put in the description so people could experiment, and I would experiment with most Margaritas on my channels as well. I can promise you. So thank you, Ansis, very much. It was really a great conversation. Thank you, everybody who are watching. And I just want to remind you that this podcast I created to inspire you, and you can watch those podcasts every Wednesday. I mean, this is the plan. It might be some adjustments. So if you subscribe my channel and follow it, you will see all updates. But I'm planning to do it on Wednesdays with inspiring people from bartending and hospitality industry, like Ansis was my guest today. So thank you, everybody, very much. Have a good day. Have a good evening. It depends on which part of the world you are and what time are you watching. And I see you in next videos, in next podcast. Thank you, Ansis, very much.
Great. And see you guys all soon, right?
See you. If you're in Miami, just give me a call and we will meet for some margaritas.
That is a promise.
All right. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. See ya.